Welcome to Suffolk Business Today for our special holiday edition. Once again, it's my pleasure to introduce two of Suffolk's newest businesses, EternaWell and the Grandwatt Electric Corporation. With the holiday season right before us and the almost endless list of delectable desserts and dishes prepared for our dining pleasure, I'm sure many of you will be comforted to know that you have a place to burn up some of those calories at EternaWell. And a little later this afternoon, we will take a look at Grandwatt Electric, a company that makes power supplies, emergency power supplies, and illumination devices. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Thanks for staying with us for this holiday edition of Suffolk Business Today. We're at the College Parkway crossing at Harborview with EternaWell. President and CEO for EternaWell, Ms. Brandy Holloway, has graciously agreed to join us and talk about what EternaWell has to offer our community. So thank you for having us today.
Thank you for coming.
Now, as you would imagine, I've done a little research before we had a chance to talk and saw some really interesting terms used to describe EternaWell, your path to wellness and wellness center. So please tell our visitors just a little bit about what it is that you do here.
Well, we specifically use Path to Wellness because it is a journey. It is steps, and we want to create a path for them that works for them, works for their lifestyle, and it needs to be baby steps.
Okay.
So, and within the word wellness center, that word gets thrown around a lot these days, and we just want them to know we focus specifically on 6 aspects. We call it POSIs. POSIs is physical, occupational, social, intellectual, emotional, and spiritual. And so just finding balance within those 6 aspects.
Great. Now, on your website, there was also a whole list of activities about what you do here. Mind and body classes, group fitness, nutrition, chiropractic, and on and on. Tell us about some of these programs that you have such a large variety to offer.
We did that specifically here so that when someone comes in, they may come in and say, I want to lose weight. We have a variety of programs because to lose weight, they may need fitness, they may need chiropractic, they may need nutrition. Sometimes we think we know what we need until we actually come upon the issues that are around us, and sometimes the stress could be causing the weight gain. So they may need life coaching to actually lose the weight and not a fitness class.
Okay.
So we really want to dig deep and find out what's going on once again with them as an individual and just not make it a cookie cutter program for them.
Well, great. This one in particular, I understand massages and coaching and workshops. Energy work, what is energy work?
I get that question a lot. The best way that I can explain it, I don't personally do that here, but our energy therapists is what we call them. Mm-hmm. It's like when you have the hair on the back of your neck stand up, or you get that gut feeling. That's your personal energy.
Okay.
And so when you go through energy therapy, they're looking for areas that you may not realize you have some blockages. We tend to sabotage ourselves sometimes.
So try to hold the energy in, or not let
or not let it out.
Or not let it out. Okay.
But what they're going to do is help you work through those things that trigger or sabotage you with that energy work. And it's a very gentle approach. You actually don't realize that you're creating that.
Now, does that complement some of the other activities you have, such as yoga? I don't know, energy work and yoga work hand in glove? Or?
Absolutely. You are creating energy when you're doing yoga. You're centering yourself, and that does take a lot of energy to do that. We all know that.
Sure enough, sure enough. Well, there was one other that was just, I was just confused. Eterna Brides. Tell me about Eterna Brides.
One of the things that we really want to approach with girls when they're thinking about going into getting married, Eterna is a legacy.
Okay.
So we're going to get you to that healthiest point, your optimum well-being as a bride, to actually enjoy the process of getting married. But after you're married, just having a healthy marriage for yourself and for your spouse, and then leaving that legacy for their children and their family. So that's why we called it Eterna Brides.
Oh, that's great. So it's such a variety. And even the chiropractic, I guess you determine that if you start in yoga, you can learn real quick that you really need to see your special. So since we're talking about these specialties, tell us a little bit about your staff. 'Cause clearly, you have a variety of talent here. Tell us about some of the people that you have working for you here.
Okay, yes, we are very blessed. We have an amazing staff. With our chiropractic, we have Dr. Julie Stickle, and she's a holistic chiropractor. And what we mean by that is just that she's going to look not just at the symptoms that you're having, but the actual cause.
Okay.
And approach that. Once again, someone may not need an adjustment because it may be stress that's causing it. We have Maya Olivas, who's our energy therapist. And so if you want to get that energy work done.
Got it.
We have 3 massage therapists here with over 15 years of experience. So, that's where the deep tissue, myofascial release is a big thing now because a lot of people have fibromyalgia. That's really coming out in the community. And our yoga, we call them yoga therapists because they actually put a lot of study behind what they do.
I can understand. Well, talk about a way to just take care of a variety of our needs, particularly in this holiday time. It sounds like you can get it just about all taken care of right here at EternaWell. Mm-hmm. And I think with that thought in mind, we'll have a chance to walk around and you can show us firsthand and our viewing audience just what EternaWell has to offer.
Okay.
Well, we've talked about your full listing here of activities. Now it's time to see just how it all plays out. So where are we now?
So we're at the reception area, and this is where we greet everyone to find out what they came in for and how they heard about us. And then we'd like to take them on a tour of our facility to get a good feel for all of our services.
Well, great. Well, let's take that tour.
Okay. So we're going to walk into our main area. This is where we conduct a lot of our fitness classes. The suspension machine that you see is the only equipment you'll actually see because everything's functional.
Okay.
We want everyone to be able to do everything we do here they can do in-home or when they're traveling. So
great.
We love this.
So what do you do with this machine?
This is actually a machine that you use your own body weight. Anyone can do this. You create the challenge for yourself. And but it's great for balance and core work, which a lot of people are interested in.
Great.
It's part of their well-being. And then next, we're going to move into our chiropractic area. This is Dr. Julie's office.
Okay.
And she is a holistic chiropractor. And just taking a gentle approach, once again, focusing on the cause, not just the symptoms that someone's having. She'll do a full hour consultation with them.
Okay.
And then afterwards, they'll have follow-up office visits with her. And then we always focus on maintenance. We want to get that preventative and proactive approach in with everyone so they don't wait once again until they have symptoms.
So did you say that typically you might do this before someone gets themselves involved in some of your more involved yoga or other types of exercise?
Part of our consultation asks them if they experience any neck pain or tingling or headaches. So if we see any of those symptoms, we would recommend that they see Dr. Julie first before they conducted any exercises with us.
Understood. Great.
And next is our massage therapy area. Once again, there's a lot of different techniques that they do here. Craniosacral, reflexology, deep tissue. So we like to always use the word therapy instead of just saying massage because it is a therapy. A lot of people tend to see it as a luxury to get a massage, but your body actually does need that for healing, for de-stressing.
Sure.
So,
now, what's the typical time taken for massage?
typically most people are going to do an hour massage, but we have 30-minute, 1 hour, and 90 minutes available.
Great.
We also offer, for corporations on site, we do on-site chair massage as incentives for their wellness program. So
I
we
noticed
incentive
that
people.
you mentioned that you have a service for corporations, and that's, I presume, one of the types of services you provide.
Right. We actually offer all of our services on site for companies, so we can go to them.
That's good to know.
This is our private session area. This is where we conduct personal training in a private area. And so whatever the client wants, once again, it's a client-centered approach.
That's nice. So many people really don't want to work out in front of others. They'd rather have the privacy until they get their own confidence up. So that's fantastic to have.
Yeah, we try to really create this small, safe space for people to come and realize that it's a lot more than just a workout. So, we call our trainers actually fitness specialists because they are doing a lot more than studying than just the workout itself.
Sure.
And next we have our mind-body area. And this is where we conduct yoga, Pilates, Qigong. And Lindsay's going to come in and show us a little bit of a restorative yoga with Juanita. Typically, obviously, we turn the lights down in here and try to create just a very calm space. You don't see a lot of equipment in here either. And we offer private sessions and group sessions.
What size group might you have typically?
6 to 8. So
6
once
to
again,
8.
we're going to keep it very small so that we can ensure a quality class, that you're going to get attention from the instructor.
Okay.
In the past, I've been in some larger organizations and companies where you have 30 or 40 people in a class, and it is hard to focus on them.
Certainly.
So
Certainly.
that was the plan from the get-go, to keep things small here.
Great. What a variety.
And next, we typically finish off, and this is our kitchen area.
Ah, yes.
Cooking classes, so we do private cooking classes. We actually offer these in-home as well. So if someone wanted to hold a social event, they can hire our culinary chef.
Okay.
And they go in, and it's a healthy approach. So take some of your favorite recipes, put a healthy spin on it, and we can do it here or in the privacy of their home.
It just doesn't get any better than that. So the wellness side, on the physical side, the internal side, is there anything that you've missed in all of our discussions here?
We've tried not to. The main thing is the coaching. So we don't have a specific room, but we do offer life coaching, wellness coaching, and of course the energy work.
Well, great. Well, this is unlike any other fitness center that I've ever seen, and it's obviously much more than fitness. So I want to make sure, before we leave our viewing audience, that you tell them exactly where you are and how they can get in touch with you.
Okay. Well, we're located in North Suffolk, off Hampton Roads Parkway. That's off College Drive in 664. You can call us at 757-483-2500, or our website is www.EternaWell.com. And we are open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Great. Well, I thank you very much for this
you.
opportunity. I didn't see a lot of guys around, but we'll have to
We
talk
do have
more
the
about
fellas.
that.
They do
about
come
the
in.
guys coming and taking advantage of all that you have to offer our community. Well, when we come back in just a few minutes, we're going to head south to the Suffolk Industrial Park and talk a little bit about some of the illumination that's taking place new to Suffolk. Welcome back to this holiday edition of Suffolk Business Today, where we've made our way down to the Suffolk Industrial Park, and we're here with Tom Bays, the plant manager for Grandwatt Electric Corporation. Tom, I want to thank you for giving us an opportunity, particularly at this holiday season, to join and talk to you a little bit about what Grandwatt has to offer. And happy holiday to you, by the way.
You too, Greg. Thank you.
So tell me, Tom, again, a little research I've done. Grandwatt has quite a variety of products to offer, but I think even more importantly, you're brand new. We just had a ribbon cutting, I think, about 2 weeks ago, didn't we?
Yes, sir, we did. Matter of fact, the mayor was here.
Well, tell us a little bit about just where Grandwatt comes from and what it is you do.
Grandwatt Electric Corporation was incorporated November 2012. We basically started here in production this past March. Our parent company is Superwatt, located in China. They have 3 locations in China: Huizhou, Shenzhen, and Shandong.
Okay.
That being said, they are pretty much our supplier when it comes to a lot of our canopies and different structures. So we get an order from a customer, say 20 light towers. We bid that customer and tell them exactly what it's going to cost. They come back and say, okay, because we build to order. We are not a cookie cutter.
Okay.
So once we get that order, we look to our facility in China to supply us the different parts that we can still put together and assemble here with still having that assembled in the U.S. quality. Once we get those components here, we assemble that particular piece of equipment. We get it UL certed up to US standards, and then we get it out to the customer.
Well, we talked about lots of parts and coming in from mainland China and so forth. How about a little bit stepping back a moment? What are some of the end products that you have to offer through Grandwatt?
We are an OEM manufacturer of generators and lighting towers. That being said, generators from 6 kW to 8 megawatt in size, both portable for standby and prime power. Lighting towers, both gasoline and diesel.
Okay.
The lighting towers vary in different size and wattage, whatever that customer wants or needs.
Well, what's a typical, I understand lighting tower. What's a typical application for a lighting tower?
A lighting tower, which you've commonly seen around here, let's say you're driving down the road and you see that construction and everybody's been stuck in construction. And there's that light with that gentleman holding that sign, stop. Those are one of the lighting towers we're talking about, one of the many different styles.
And what about the transformers? Are they just for businesses that may need emergency power or what have you? Or
You're talking about the generators.
The generators.
Yes. The generators, they can be for standby power or for prime power. Now you're talking residential, we're talking standby.
Okay.
For when that power goes out, the grid goes down, that generator comes on, and you have power.
Understood. Well, I saw on your website where your product comes in various configurations. I suppose that's, I'm familiar with a diesel engine, but I guess I was a little surprised when I saw some of them operate off of natural gas as well.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that and the different variants you have, just how they're used as opposed to in other environments possibly.
Well, you have to realize that some folks may not have natural gas available where they live. For instance, I live in the country. I don't have natural gas. Diesel's available.
Sure.
Other folks, when we deal globally, have lots of natural gas available.
Okay.
So we provide them with those natural gas generators from 20 kW to 200 kW.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Now, you know the old saying, a picture's worth 1,000 words. We're talking about light towers, and I can envision, being on the highway seeing those, and we're talking about generators and so forth, but do you have some of that equipment here that we could take a look at to show our viewing audience what
Yes,
we're
I
talking
do.
about?
Be more than happy to show you.
Then why don't we do this? Why don't we dispense with talking about your product, and let's take the time and let's show our viewing audience just what we're talking about.
Let's do it.
All righty.
So come on out, Greg.
All right, thank you. Your warehouse, it's about 25,000 square feet in here?
It's just roughly under 30,000 square feet of production space. The office space is a little under 5,000 square feet.
Great, great. So what are we looking at on this side of the warehouse here?
All right, over here, Greg, we have our 410 4000 lighting towers, which are currently in the assembly process. The customer that has requested these has requested a personal color. So that color is being matched and is sent out to be painted.
Just out of curiosity, you don't have to tell us any secrets about the customer, but what color do these have to be?
Well, these have to be yellow.
Yellow, okay. That's fine.
Grandwatt is orange by nature,
Okay.
as you know, but this customer has requested yellow.
Okay, great. So is this how the components come to you when they're shipped in?
Oh, no, 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 no.
Oh.
All these components, Greg, broke down completely. The only thing that's really assembled in some cases is that rim is on that tire, and the alternator is attached to the engine, and that's for tax reasons.
Okay. Okay. Speaking of which, I guess you're in a foreign trade zone?
Yes, sir.
Great. So you can take advantage of those kinds of opportunities. All right. So your folks assemble all of this together, and that's the initial step. And what happens to it after this?
Once the unit is assembled, then we take it back to the back end of the facility where we load test. And we load test pretty much all the lighting towers for 1 hour and 30 minutes to 2 hours long, verifying that everything works properly, the current load capacity on it is met, and we load test up to 110% of the actual load of the alternator.
Okay.
Once it passes quality and load testing, then it's finished up for final assembly. Final assembly being the last sticker that goes on it, saying that it has passed inspection. It gets set up over here,
Okay.
pretty much behind us.
And these components here, what are these?
These are small portable units. These are gasoline. We also have diesel.
Okay.
Actually, the technician right now is putting on some of the final touches. He's actually installing the receptacles
Okay.
on all these units. All the units are all tested out. They come with certificate of completion, and they'll be ready to go out to the customer.
And now, are these for home use or for business or commercial use, or both?
These are more slated for your home user, your home
Okay.
end user when power's out. And these are roughly about 8,000 watts of power. So run your refrigerators, your TV to get news bulletins, what's happening in the world.
Gotcha, gotcha. So those are the generators. The towers, I know these are going to be painted a special color, but what's the final product look like if it was your typical Grandwatt orange?
Well, a final product, we can take you down here and take a look at some of that final product.
Okay, let's do that.
We can look at some lighting towers and a couple of our generators.
Okay.
Matter of fact, some of the folks right now are assembling some of our VA lighting tower frames.
Okay.
We have some of the VA lighting tower frames over here and the ones they're currently working on now.
Gotcha, gotcha.
So starting in line, this is our VB lighting tower for balloon.
Okay.
This actually inflates up into a balloon, and it has lighting inside of it.
Okay.
The purpose of this tower is for soft light.
Gotcha.
You can stare right at it. It won't harm your eyes. Great for if you're on that road driving. Instead of those big bright lights, now you have the soft light.
But still bright enough for the workers to be able to see what
Yes.
they're doing.
Yes. Safety. This is safety.
Very
This one we actually
nice.
had opened up for the customer to take a look at for a couple we already delivered this morning.
That's great. That's great. Okay.
The generator here, this is, let me make sure before I tell you wrong, this is a 20 kW residential generator.
That's
Diesel.
residential?
Diesel with an
Oh, my
extended
goodness.
fuel tank on it.
Okay.
So this generator here, coupled with an ATS automatic transfer switch to your home,
Okay.
so when the power grid is down, it senses the power is out, automatically energizes that generator, comes up and runs, switches power over from your power grid to the generator.
Now, would that run the entire household? I guess it looks large enough to do so.
This generator will pretty much run your entire house, standard home. Now, if we're rich like some people, it may not run the whole house.
Understood. Well, you buy two.
That's right. I'll sell you two.
There you go. Okay.
Now, over here, we have our F8 lighting tower. This lighting tower is made solely for the Australian mining industry. And we're also finding here locally, domestically, that a lot of the folks are starting to see these new LED lighting towers with the long run time on them, and they're becoming very popular.
Now, why is it that the Australians like this particular model compared to what you see in the U.S. market?
Good question. This lighting tower obviously comes with a bit larger price tag, but with that, you get a really extended long run time. It has a single cylinder diesel engine on it, running at about 65 gallons of fuel. With that, it'll run a long time. And the whole idea behind the LED lights for the Australian mining industry is with explosions, these lights don't go out. A metal halide flickers, it takes 10 minutes for it to heat back up to come on, no problem.
Not good. You need to be
Not
able to see
good.
what you're doing.
Don't want to lose light.
Yeah, especially if you have an explosion.
Exactly.
All right. And then these final
Our-
two components here?
Our next one, of course, we just saw those being assembled. This is a finished W8 portable,
Okay.
little 8,000 watt generator,
All right.
residential unit. Comes with a 240 volt twist lock and a normal household power,
Great.
GFI. Then here we have, very similar to the balloon which we saw earlier,
Great. Okay.
but this is the LED version of the balloon. This right here, we're finding it's also getting more and more acceptable here in the U.S. because of LED, less power to run,
Understood.
longer fuel burn. So it's all about fuel these years. Save fuel.
This is great. So, your short period of time here, how has business been for you?
It's been really good and very busy, Greg, and I really enjoy everybody here. And Suffolk's just been wonderful in helping out with a lot of things that we had to transition into here in the city. But it's been a wonderful experience, and we hope to continue to grow with the city.
Well, that's great. Well, Tom, how should people try to get a hold of you if they want to learn more about your product?
I'm glad you asked, Greg. They can simply go to the website, www.grandwatt.com, or they can actually come on down here. We're located at 1013 Obacy Industrial Boulevard in Suffolk.
Great. Well, Tom, again, thank you very much for your time, and a happy holiday to you. And for our viewing audience, I should say thank you for joining us for this edition of Suffolk Business Today, especially our holiday edition. And I want to wish you and yours a wonderful holiday season, and remind you, particularly at this time of year, love local, buy Suffolk.